You are amazing, you are abundant, you deserve the best and only the best, and you can have it all. Trust your skills, trust your abundance, trust your manifesting power, because you are that powerful. Hi, and welcome to Know It Into Being. In today's video, I'm talking about trust in manifesting and trusting your manifesting abilities. Trusting is way more important than any manifesting technique could ever be, and it's also even more important than any manifesting knowledge. You don't have to watch 1 million videos and ask about 1 million details about techniques. You just do it and apply because it works when you trust that it does. When you trust that it works, your manifestations will absolutely work. No matter how good your visualization is, no matter how long the scene is you visualize, no matter how detailed it is, no matter how many senses you can engage in your imagination, no matter if it's just the excitement or the satisfaction or the feeling of success, it doesn't matter at all. No matter how you feel it real, the more you feel it real, the better it works, and this can be also done by only engaging one sense. For example, some people manifest by just hearing whatever they want to hear from their SP, like inner conversations, for example. Some people just think what they affirm, and for some people that comes with automatic visualizations, but for some people it also doesn't. And some people just manifest by just knowing it will happen. So some people don't even engage any visualization or any kind of imaginal sense or imaginal act. And all of this works, and it doesn't matter how you do it, and you don't have to stick to any certain rules or any specific specifications. Your visualization doesn't have to be exactly one specific way. It doesn't matter how clear you see the picture. It doesn't matter how long that scene is that you create. And even if it's just a snapshot, even if it's just a frame, if it's only one still image, it also works. It doesn't matter. You can only hear what you want to hear. You can only see what you want to see. You can also just know it into being. It really doesn't matter how you manifest. There are no set rules. Everybody's manifestations are different. Everybody's techniques are a little bit different. Create your own, trust your own, and don't let anybody tell you how exactly to do it. And even Neville Goddard, he is only one of many manifestors, and even before him, people manifested in many different ways, and manifestation is as old as any spiritual teaching or religion in this world. And Neville Goddard was not the inventor of manifestation. Neville Goddard was just a student of Abdullah, and Abdullah was just a student of somebody else. And actually, for example, Joseph Murphy was living and practicing at the same time as Neville Goddard did. So Neville Goddard is not the end-all be-all. Neville Goddard's teachings and the law of assumption are not the only answer to manifestation, and they are not the only way how to manifest. Be it scripting, be it just knowing it into being it affirming. You could also just hear things. This is also something that Neville Goddard talked about. Just hear how your friends tell you the good news on the phone, for example. It works. You don't have to have a visual image for that. If you do, of course, that's great, but you absolutely don't have to. Some people have aphantasia, so they cannot really visualize. I also cannot visualize very clearly, but it doesn't matter. I always manifest what I want just by knowing that it will happen for sure. I'm not even a person who is saying it is already happening. I just trust that it works, and I kind of trust that it works already in the background. But I know that things will manifest, and just by this knowing, I manifest everything. And it always works for me. So manifestation is very individual. Don't let anybody tell you how exactly to manifest or how exactly to visualize. Trust is the most important factor in manifestation. Without trust, no technique and no knowledge will ever work, and without trust, you basically cannot manifest. If you cannot trust in the unseen, you have only two options. One is learn to trust it, and the other one is to forget about manifestation. As harsh as this sounds, you better learn how to trust, but if you cannot, then manifesting is maybe not the way for you. But the good thing is, there are some easy exercises how you can build trust in manifesting. One of these, for example, is the list method. It means that you write down some things that you don't really care about and watch them happen before your 3D eyes, just within a few days or weeks. The other one is to do something like the ladder technique that Neville Goddard talks about, like you imagine something that is quite unlikely. You imagine climbing a ladder, for example, which you usually never do, and then within the next days or weeks this will happen. You will find yourself in a 3D reality situation where you actually have to climb a ladder. Somebody will ask you for a favor, please, can you climb the ladder for me? You will have to do something where you have to climb a ladder. Maybe it's cleaning or helping a friend or picking some fruits from a tree. It doesn't matter, but something will happen that will show you that you have to climb a ladder in your 3D reality. But you could do this also with any other things that are very unlikely and specific enough so they will not happen coincidentally that easily. When I wanted to build trust in manifesting, I used the list method and I wrote down some things that I knew that are very unlikely but that gonna happen when I script about it. So I wrote this list. For example, a friend will contact me that didn't contact me for many years, and exactly that happened. And what I also wrote on my list, and what I can specifically remember, is that I wrote down somebody will invite me for coffee, and exactly that happened. A student of mine wanted to invite me for coffee just 2 days after that. And these things do work and they can help you to build trust in manifesting, so I kind of recommend them, but I think you can also trust in your skills anyway. And you can trust manifestation anyway, because you can see there are so many success stories, there are so many people who manifest successfully, there is so much information about successful manifestations, and you know that manifesting works, otherwise you wouldn't watch these videos, right? So trust it, trust your power, trust your knowledge. Your knowledge is probably already enough, just do it, apply it. You don't have to watch 1 million videos, you don't have to read 1 million books or listen to 1 million audiobooks, you don't have to try every single technique on this planet. And one of the most important things is also to be patient, because many people, they try a technique and then if something doesn't manifest on the next day, they don't trust it anymore and they doubt it because they think it's not working. Don't have unrealistic expectations. Just because somebody on TikTok said that you can manifest everything in 30 seconds, it doesn't necessarily mean that all your manifestations gonna be that fast. Some manifestations might take weeks, others might even take months. You never know how fast a manifestation goes, but one of the really determining factors is how much you trust it. The more you trust it, the faster you manifest, and the more you doubt it, the longer it will be delayed. Manifesting is a lot about trust. Once you start trusting it really and stop doubting it, then it will manifest quickly. If you have 1 or 2 doubtful thoughts a day about your manifestation, it doesn't matter as long as the majority of the time you know that you will absolutely manifest it and that you know and trust that your manifestation is working. But if you spend your whole day doubting, watching more videos and asking more coaches, and how should I do that? Is it gonna work? Does this work? Am I doing it wrong? All of these questions, they just show that you're not trusting it. And if you have this issue, then work on the trust first before you think about all the technical details. They all don't matter if you don't trust it. I'm not saying that you cannot manifest when you're doubting. You can, but trusting is gonna enhance your manifestations a lot, and it's gonna improve the speed of your manifestations. And by the way, the wording of your affirmations also don't matter. It doesn't matter how you describe your wish fulfilled. It doesn't matter which words you use to affirm. The only thing that matters is that it creates the feeling in you, the feeling of success and the feeling of already having it. And that's all that matters. It doesn't matter how often you affirm, how long you affirm, what you see in your visualizations, what you say in your imagination or in your head. It all doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is how you feel when you do it. And if you feel satisfied, and if you feel certain, and if you trust it, then it will absolutely manifest. No matter how you get there, no matter the technique, no matter the wording, none of that matters. It is completely irrelevant. You can manifest however you want, as long as you trust it and as long as it feels good and satisfying. The words, the technique, the visualization, the length of it, the duration, the scenes, whatever you see, feel, hear, touch, smell, or whatever, The only thing that matters is that you trust it. You can have some doubtful thoughts here and there, of course, but if you fundamentally doubt it, if you fundamentally doubt your manifestations, chances are very high that you will delay your manifestation big time. If you doubt your whole manifestation or the whole manifesting process or your manifesting power fundamentally, then you will delay your manifestation for sure. Learning to trust is super, super important. If you need a proof in your 3D reality for everything, then you gotta work on that. Otherwise, manifesting is not for you. If you have a hard time trusting, then you should work on relaxation first, because trusting does have a lot to do with relaxation. And if you obsess over your manifestations, then it's way more difficult to trust that it will work anyway.
Stick around until the end for another bonus tip.
You have to trust in the unseen. Know that your manifestations are inevitable because you are amazing, you are abundant, you can have it all, you are way more powerful than you probably believe to be. And if you doubt how you could even imagine something that you haven't experienced yet, then I think you can just go back in your memory and think about an event or occasion or situation where you did feel that love, or where you did feel that success or luck or happiness. And then from there, go into the state of your new wish fulfilled. You can go into the assumption that it is already working, or you can go into the assumption that it absolutely will work. In my opinion, both of it is totally fine, and both absolutely manifests. Trust it. Manifesting always works, no matter if you go the approach A or the approach B or the technique A or the technique B, it doesn't matter, all of it works. And your trust in it is what's actually determining the success of it. So work on the trust, because you can do it. You are that powerful, you are that amazing, and you have all the knowledge and all the skills. And actually you don't have to learn another 5 million techniques and another 10 million possibilities on how to manifest, because you already know enough. Just apply what you know and trust that it works, and believe me, it will work 100% if you absolutely trust it does. So, know your power, know your abundance. You are that amazing, you are that powerful, you can have it all. You deserve only the best, and you get only the best because you are that powerful. Trust yourself, trust in your manifestations, trust how amazing you are, because you truly are. Happy manifesting, and see you next time. Bye-bye. Another thing you can do to build trust in manifesting is to randomly manifest small things. For example, I manifest trains being on time if I need to be on time. I manifest parcels being on time. I manifest parcels arriving in the morning early before I have to go to work, which would usually come in the afternoon. I manifest all kinds of small things, and I can highly recommend that to you. And just recently, I manifested my father getting his backpack back after he lost it, and for example, my ex receiving a full refund while keeping his coffee machine, even though that one was not from Amazon. How I do that is like I see myself holding that parcel, or I hear that bell ringing, or I just see that train approaching, or I see myself being on the train and being on time and relax. I imagine these things like super, super quickly. It's kind of like snapshots. I only imagine that like for 1 second or 2. It doesn't need to be fancy, it doesn't need to be detailed. I just imagine it. And I imagine what it would look like if it is real, but I do it in a very, very quick fashion, and I don't pay any attention to the details, and the image doesn't need to be clear or perfect at all. Try that and you will see it will work like magic, and it will give you a lot of confidence in your manifesting power.